Can you tell us your name and pronouns?
Okay. So my name is Freya Dooley and my pronouns are she, her.
Can you tell us a bit about your work at Sight Gallery?
So False Note is a solo exhibition comprising of 3 films called Diamonds and Rust, The Double and Basics of Buoyancy. And the exhibition is all staged as a kind of quite a cinematic experience, I guess. There's a very ultra widescreen aspect ratio for the films. And part of the reason for that is that the starting points are kind of these everyday situations around work or kind of domestic life. So I wanted to sort of amplify those narratives with this very cinematic experience. It's designed to feel quite immersive. There's a 7.1 channel sound installation which I mixed on site, and there are these very large curtains as well that kind of frame the space.
Why did you make the song such a contrasting tone from the film?
So the False Note exhibition is structured as 2 films, The Double and then Diamonds and Rust. And then after those 2 films, there's a song, it's 2 minutes long, called Basics of Buoyancy. So Basics of Buoyancy is, the kind of idea behind it is it's the kind of language that you might hear in a sort of what I imagine to be an emotional resilience training video that you'd get in a corporate environment. That was the kind of concept for a film that I was going to make. And then as the work was sort of being developed, we kind of thought about a song instead.
Why did you make the start and end of Jane's story mirror each other?
So the beginning and end of Diamonds and Rust mirror each other, partly because I wanted the story, even though the film isn't shown on a loop in this exhibition, there's this recurring kind of theme of like looping and this kind of monotonous circular grind of these kind of working environments that both Jane in Diamonds and Rust and OK in The Double experience. And also in Basics of Buoyancy, that's those refrains are repeated as well. And I wanted this idea of replacement. So Jane is always vulnerable to replacement in her role, and she's really trying to navigate a sense of value. And so beginning it and ending it, in a way, it's quite sort of bleak because it's just this, there are these small scale loops, and then there's this idea of a kind of ongoing cycles of precarity and instability and the kind of risk of replacement and insecurity that I think is characteristic of a lot of contemporary workplaces.
Why a croissant? Why can't it be any other pastry?
The croissant thing, when I was really fortunate to have a residency in Rome in 2021 at the British School in Rome, and that was the kind of beginning point for a lot of this thinking and research, and what kind of led to this exhibition. Anyway, when we used to have these amazing croissants for breakfast, and I left one in my room while I went to, I left one in my room for about an hour, and when I came back, it was absolutely covered in ants. And I took some footage on my phone, and actually that footage is in Diamonds and Rust, and the croissant story is also, or the croissant narrative is in The Double, so there's another kind of repetition there. But I really love this image of this very luxury thing being consumed by all these ants, and it's just an image that really stuck with me. So I knew that I wanted to write about croissants. And the other thing about them is there's this kind of European continental aspiration about it, and for the character of OK in The Double, he eats a croissant every break time. It's like the kind of stale, leftover, free stuff that his character is kind of has access to.
Where do you go when you want to be inspired?
So I love to read, and I listen to a lot of music, and I try and see a lot of live music as well. not necessarily to be inspired, but because I enjoy it. And the other thing is a lot of my work, certainly the writing, and some of the other aspects actually, like it comes out of conversations with people and the things that I care about and preoccupy me, and the things that come up in conversation, and even like the things people say, and sort of little things that I think about and observe. So quite social and
Do you think you'll always be an artist?
Yes, because I don't think being an artist is something that anyone needs to qualify for or qualify for themselves. And also the reality of keeping yourself afloat, it means that other things, and like nurturing other parts of your life, means that other things are sometimes mean that your practice isn't necessarily at the forefront of what you're doing, and also sort of public output isn't always the main kind of aspect of what being an artist is. So it means different things to different people, but also at different times in your life. So short answer is yes, but also I'm paying attention to other things in my life too.
What advice would you give to young artists?
I think the only thing that I think does apply to probably everyone, and the advice that I should take myself, is the importance of looking after yourself, and also do the things that you need to do for yourself in order to do that. And I guess earlier I mentioned about how conversations and the kind of people around me really nurture my life. And I think, just kind of keeping in touch with what's important to you and going with that, whatever it means, I think is, all I can probably offer.